Welcome back to the continuation of reducer functions. In the last video we learned about what is a reducer, what are the phases of the reducer from the mapper. Okay, now I will revise one more time. So we know our concept is grid and cloud computing and myself is Rajeshwari. Now reducer function. So given this diagram in the last video, what we are saying is whenever we are going to get output from the mapper, we have to do some shuffling and sorting before feeding the output to the reducer. After reducing, do some processing, it will get the output as part 0. Okay, then what is Hadoop reducer? See, the reducer processes output of mapper, we know about this. After processing the data, it produces a new set of output, we know about this. At last, now here we have to remember this. Again, the mapper output will store in the intermediate data as intermediate data in the local disk only. It will not store in the HDFS because what is said, all the processing is going to be done very fastly, so that if you are going to store in a distributed manner, taking the data, tracing the data, processing the data, it's going to be round the clock time, round the clock work. So if you're going to do the same again and again in a distributed manner, means the time will take more time. So in order to overcome from this, we are going to store the output of mapper in intermediate results in local disk. Okay, but output of the reducer is going to store in the HDFS itself because it's the final outcome, right? See, Hadoop reducer takes set of intermediate key value pairs produced by the mapper as input and runs a reducer function on each of them. So reducers can run in parallel since they are independent of each other. Mappers also can run in parallel, but we need some shuffling and sorting before feeding to the reducer. The user decides the number of reducers. As I said n number of times that I am repeating the same. The total number of mappers are equal to the number of inputs splits. But there is no constraint on the reducer. But we need at least one reducer to process your data. That is enough. If more number of reducers are there, automatically less in time we can finish our work. That is the main thing. So by default, the number of reducers is 1. We know about this. Coming to what are the phases of a reducer. As I said, we learn about the phases of a mapper. Here we have some phases of a reducer. So the first phase is shuffling. So giving output here and there, shuffling, moving, sorting, placing an order, and finally command functions also they will tell you. See this example. So one input split is going to be giving one mapper. The one mapper is going to store in our memory local disk. So from the memory we are going to take some partition. We are going to divide the data, sort the data, split into disk. Disk means we are going to split. So in that we are going to merge these splits as our requirement. Okay. So for the reducer means if you want to sort before giving to the reducer, automatically we have to merge all the inputs from the mappers. So it is one input from the map, but we need one more input which is available in somewhere else. Because of a distributed system, automatically the other mappers input outputs also will place here. So all the values is going to store and shuffling and have to merge here, reduce. Okay, right. So after merging means it is going to give as a single input to the reducer. We should not give like this splits because it doesn't understand the splits. It is us, we have to place all the data at one position and have to feed to the reducer. Okay, so this reducer will give the output and which is going to store in the HDFS. The combiner phase, it's a supplementary I can say, or we can, for example, if you go into any shopping, they are going to give some coupon. That is additional benefit we are going to get after shopping. Like this here also, the combiner is the one which is going to place between the mapper and the reducer. Some of the work reducer have to do is going to reduce by the combiner. Before giving output to the reducer from the mapper, it will do some transactions. We can say that shuffling, merging, all this can be done as a combiner, and we can give that shuffling, placing a single piece. Later giving to the reducer is going to be done by combiner. If you observe, see, a combiner also known as a semi-reducer is an optional class that operates by accepting the inputs from the map class and thereafter passing the output key values to the reducer class. What is the use of this? What is the use of this means? For example, the processing capability of a reducer can be improved. Means all the shuffling, merging can be done by any other work, any other person called as a combiner. If you're able to finish that all the processing, intermediate processing, the reducer directly can execute the code. In the meanwhile, some other work can be done by the reducer, means some other data mapper work can be done by this reducer. So like that we can improve some efficiency to some extent. See, in this single picture representation, I am going to give total input to you. What are the phases, what are the main theme of these phases. Here is the input. Based upon the inputs, we have one mapper. Intermediate keys are going to develop by the record reader, K1, K2, V1, V2, right? So the combiner will combine all these value as a groups. Means the relevant data is going to store at one place. They are going to shuffle in, they are going to merge, okay. Now the shuffle and sort is going to done after the combiner. Later reducer is going to execute on this and output is going to store into the HDFS. So repeat the same, nothing is there. Here we have to verify the code. See, public class, static class, reducer name, that is up to you. You can use any name here. Extends reducer. Okay. Here, if you are able to observe here, key value pairs for the input, key value pairs for the output. So there is a key value pair. Here also we will get the text. Here also we will get the text for input and output. But it is not the same for the mapper, because the mapper will get input from the record reader in terms of long readable. Why? Because it is address. Later the input, but output we will get is the text and the count. Okay, so the text and the count is the same as input to the reducer, and the output is going to be again text and the number only. There is no deviation in that. Context or key text key value pairs, exemption if you want to throw, you can, and the sum. This is for word count concept. So how many int writables we have, x values for each value, we are going to count that. The sum is going to be done for the x object. After getting that, later we are going to provide that value to the key value. Okay, right. So this is the code. For example, if you input is the key nothing but those unique words which have been generated after the sorting and shuffling, means words are nothing but the text. The value is a list of integers. How many words you got in the word counter? Means I got dogs 2, cats or cars are 3, cat are 2. That is going to be the number int writable. So I am going to getting key value as a bear. The value is a 1. Okay. And coming to the driver class. In the last video I explained about the driver importance. Without the driver for any transport vehicle, we can't move even for 1 minute also. Like here also the driver class contains a lot of things to share to execute your code. Means what is a mapper name, what is a reducer name, what is input types of the mapper, what is output types of the mapper, how many reducers you want, how many mappers you want, what is the split size, all this stuff which are required to process our total HDFS blocks can be done at single place called as a drivers. Okay. Now if you observe here, we specify the name of the job, the data type of the input output of mapper and the reducer. Okay. Next, we also specify the names of the mapper and the reducers and the path of the input and output folders. Sorry, I forgot this. We can specify where is the location of your input and output also. Where is the location of the input and where we have to store your output. So given some picture total data taken from your editor. A picture I have taken. It is not possible to show at the time. So I am giving a chance to read as a glance at one picture. The configuration, my configuration file, I want to set up a new job with a class called as a job, with a name, my name is a job, and my job name is my word count program. Okay, jar files, what is the jar file is, see, as if you want to give the input, we have to give this driver code, your input path, your output path, where is the store, where to store, these are all called as a one jar file. We have to create that. At the jar file we can contain all the input files, output files. Okay, so we have to create the jar file also. So for this, my jar file is a word count. I want to set the mapper. My mapper name is a map, my reducer name is a reduce. Output key value, what is the output is, it is not output of the mapper, yeah, we have to remember that it is output of the reducer. The output is the final output. So my output key is a text and my output value is a int. We know about this. What is the input format? What is input format? Is text input. We want to take the text and we want to give the output as also text format. Okay, the path, if you want to, for example, we have a in the main class we have some arguments ARJC, ARJS, but if if you remember this, count and variables. So the number of arguments to set a path for the output path is a 1, not 0. 0 we are going to give the command. Okay, and finally, what is input path is a 0 and output path is a 1. Right now, these are all the header files we have to include to work efficiently. See, these are all the header files we have to include. If you want to exception, if you want to case to rotate or to go to the next token, we have to use string token. If you want to use int writable, means int writable type, we have to include that. Long writable for the addresses. Text mapper, if you want to include a mapper or define your own mapper, we have to use a mapper class. A reducer class. If you want to give some configuration data, what is the driver class, what is input types configuration. If you want to create your job, what is the text input format you want to specify, output format and output format, file output input format and file output format, and finally the path. So these are all the header files we have to include without forgetting. If any file not able to include as a header, means automatically we can't. Okay. See, this is a very important slide I can say, because I want to show some execution of a Hadoop in the command line interface. Okay, we can execute Hadoop in terms of two ways. One is a command line interface, the Java interface also. Let us see one by one. We will go very shortly. So the command is the Hadoop. Okay, the Hadoop, we have to use a command to execute your Hadoop files. I said the jar file is a collection of all the files at one place. Maybe it is driver class. Okay, and come to this driver class name, which contains a mapper, reducer, number of mappers, reducers, input types, output types, blah blah blah. Okay, see, class name along with the package name, input file, output folder path. Example. So this is the best example I can say. Hadoop is a command, the jar is a command, my file name is dictionary_word_count.jar. We have to specify it is jar file, and my input is this one, that is file, and what is my location? What is my location for the input and what is my location for the output? So all things we have to specify to get the output. Okay. Specifying input output parameters, we learn about this in the last class itself. So after splitting the input data, we are going to get some splits. For each split, we are going to assign some mapper. For each mapper will convert the total data in terms of key value pairs, that is sort and send. After performing this shuffling and the sorting, we have to do some merging. All this merging can be done for the reducer. If you see here, the mapper output is not going to execute by one person. If you remember, every mapper contains two persons, mapper and the reducers, the job tracker, task tracker, right? So as we have number of task trackers, we have to allot this total map task to a number of people. Task tracker 1, task tracker 2, task tracker 3, task tracker 4, task tracker 5, task tracker 6. Here, okay, we are going to assign these works to those people, and finally, if you want to get the output, we have to shuffle. For example, we have 3 parts, but we have only 2 reducers only. What we have to do? We have to give the first 3 parts of each mapper to the first one. Means see, it is the first part of the first mapper we are going to give. It is first part of the first part of the second mapper. The first part of the third mapper we have to give. So like this, we have to align all the key value pairs. Later we have to merge and feed to the reducer to get the key value pairs output in HDFS. Okay, we are going to give as a K1, V1 in the mapper. Combiner will give K2, V2. The reducer will give K3, V3. A lot of changes will be there. Of course, there is no need here. I explained already word count example. It is a temperature diagram. It is. I used to explain to the students one more example. See, this is my temperature data. In this, we have 18 attributes totally. My theme is to find out the maximum temperature location also. What is the maximum temperature? In which year that maximum temperature is noted. I want to verify that. Okay, so from that I am going to give some input, that is the record reader has given some output. So this is the address of these records. Okay, from that record the mapper task is to find out the year and the temperature. Okay, I got some years in the temperature. I am going to shuffle because I have 1, 2, 3 1950s and 2 1949. Right. I'm going to shuffle that. All 1949 place should be at one place. All 1950 value should be at one place. Means in that tier, the maximum temperature noted are triple one. Means it's going to be around 11.1 and 7.8 the fractions. Okay, but in 1950, the maximum temperatures are 0, 22, minus 11. Okay. Now the reducer task is to find out the maximum. It is going to find out that in 1949 the maximum is a triple one, 1950 the maximum is 22. And finally the output is, the same output is going to fed to the HDFS. Okay. Now in the next video we are going to learn about the configuring and running MR. Okay. So till then, bye. Have a great day. Take care. Stay home. Stay safe.